This is the Planet Finance Budget Tracker 4th generation. After gathering everyone's feedback and suggestions on how to improve the tracker, we've created this user-friendly tool with new features that takes budget tracking to a whole new level. As you enter your income, expenses, and transfers through Google Forms or manually in the Transactions tab, there's critical information the sheet ingests to provide the best insights about your accounts, categories, and fund movements. Let's begin with an example to show how easy it is to log your transactions. You start by going to the Google Forms shortcut through your smartphone or computer. Let's say you bought a coffee. You choose the expense, optionally enter the date when it happened, the account you used to buy this, the amount you spent, a small description, the category, an optional receipt should you wish to track receipts, and click Submit. This coffee expense is then automatically added to the budget tracker and compiled with your other expenses to give you detailed insights about your spending habits. If you're not a fan of Google Forms or entering transactions one at a time, you can enter them manually in the Transactions tab or in bulk with the new Statement Export feature. It works the same way with income streams and fund transfers between local or international accounts. This tracker has 3 main sections that help you analyze your earning and spending habits. The single dimension analysis helps you dive into a particular period of time that you choose. This time feature in the tracker has created extreme flexibility in the way that you can analyze your budget, as you now have the option to slice information on a weekly, bi-weekly, semi-monthly, monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, and annual basis. In the single dimension section, you'll be able to get a quick snapshot of your income, expenses, savings, progress against budget, account balances, top and bottom expenses, dynamic visualizations, and detailed summary tables of category or subcategory behaviors. We've made comparisons against averages and trends more flexible now, giving you the ability to choose the date ranges for averages you want to compare against. Additionally, you can choose trend periods to compare your income or expenses against previous periods. This facilitates an essential insight in budgeting, which is the deviation against your initial plan. As you can see, you can select which date dimension to analyze and the choice between analyzing all your accounts or specific accounts, which makes it useful when managing a budget between multiple people or complex business accounts. The multidimensional analysis focuses more on providing a bird's eye view of income and expenses. It has a feature to dynamically select specific date ranges based on your date dimension of choice, and provides an aggregated view of how you've performed through time. This top table gathers all your income, expenses, and savings from the date range you choose and slices them into each dimension to give you an idea of how much you earn, spend, and save per year, quarter, month, week, etc. If you want a more specific analysis of your categories through time, the bottom tables spread them just like the summary tables in the previous section, where you can see how each category or subcategory has performed through time. Finally, the dashboard section combines the date ranges feature with the single time period feature to create a summary of your performance and historical insights. At the top, you have all the drop-down filters to customize your dashboard independent of the filters in the other sections. On the left, you can see compact visualizations and summary tables of your income, expenses, and account balances for a date range. In the middle, you have a quick snapshot of your current highlighted single time period that can help you see how you're performing against budget. And on the right-hand side, there's a summary table that consolidates account balances into buckets to help you visualize how your up-to-date net worth is distributed. So those are the 3 main sections where you can analyze your performance through time. It's completely automated from the transactions entered. It has multiple drop-down filters for you to slice the information into many levels of granularity, and it creates the opportunity for everyone to customize their budget tracking. On the back end, we have several setup and settings tabs for you to customize your accounts, categories, and budget. That's right, we finally have a budget setup section where you can edit your budget categories for income and expenses and change them through time. Your salary or rent isn't the same every year. This new feature helps you assign different budgets as time progresses. You can create a static method where your budgets are always the same, a rate method where the budgets increase or decrease by a rate of your choice each period, or a manual budget, which allows you to freely customize your budget for each period. All these budgets are then reflected in the analysis sections, and you have the opportunity to analyze earning and spending categories by a parent category and category, allowing you to group certain transactions as you see fit. At last, we have the account and account category settings, where you can customize your account names, starting balances, and aggregated categories, as well as the language dimensions, where you can change the date dimension naming formats. You will notice in this demo there's a mobile tab and drop-down filters with currency and foreign exchange methods. The mobile tab replicates the dashboard, transforming the insights into a compact, mobile-friendly layout for you to quickly analyze your performance through a smartphone if you're not near a larger screen. The currency drop-down feature allows you to analyze your budgets in different currencies at either the latest exchange rate or the historical one based on when the transaction happened. This is useful for many users with financial habits or operations that require multiple currencies in their budgets and international transfers. The Planet Finance team has created multiple versions of this budget tracker to fit different use cases. We have the standard version in light theme with a single currency capability and no mobile tab for users with simple budgeting requirements. And then we have the Pro versions in multiple themes with the option of single currency or multi-currency features and a mobile tab. You can access these ready-to-use trackers by following the link in the description of this video. If you have any further inquiries, feedback, or require assistance for setup or customization, feel free to contact us and we'll be happy to help. Now, we'll quickly show you how to get a copy and set up this tracker for you to use privately. When you first gain access to the tracker, you will see a folder and several files. Make sure to read the instructions first. So select your Google Sheet, right-click and make a copy. Once the copy is created, do the same with the Google form. So both of these files will be copied to your drive. So we can go to My Drive and you'll find the two copies there. So the first thing to do is to open up the Google Sheet. Let it load for a while until you can see the setup button appear and then go back to your drive. Now we can open our copy of the transactions form. The first time you open it, there will be a message saying missing file upload folders. All you need to do is click restore and Google will create a folder in your main drive to store files you might upload when submitting a transaction. You get a little pop-up message saying folders restored successfully. Now what you want to do is copy the URL of this Google form and then go to the Google Sheet. Once you're in the Google Sheet, you can click the setup button and select the first option that you see. Some people will see link form, other people will see format and trigger, so just click the first one. The first time you click a button in the setup dropdown, you need to give your Google account permissions to access the automation, so start by clicking OK to the authorization required pop-up message. Choose your account, then click advanced, and then go to Planet Finance scripts unsafe. You can now allow access, and now we can run the script successfully. So as soon as we clicked allow, we get this little message saying enter your new Google form URL. So that's what we copied earlier, so we can just paste it here and then click OK. Once the script runs, we can see that the form was linked successfully, and now we can run our second button. For those who click the format and trigger button, wait for the script to run and you will get a confirmation message when it runs successfully. This one is basically to format the dashboard title whenever you change any date dimensions, so the titles stay formatted the same and show the dimension you've set up for analysis. You can then click the next option called Link Form. So once we have the new form responses added to our sheet, we can click the Setup button again and then click Update References. Here we can enter the new sheet tab name called Form Responses 6 and click OK. So once you get the success message, just click OK. And now the Google form is officially linked to your Google Sheet. So what we can do now is go back to our Google form and just double check in the responses that the sheet is linked. And what we can do is send a test transaction. To do that, just click this link symbol, copy the link and open it in your browser. We'll enter a quick test transaction. So go back to your Google Sheet and we can see that the transaction has been successfully sent to the Google Sheet. Now, before we delete the Transactions tab, let's make sure to copy the format into our new form responses. With a recent update, Google now creates this format for our tables, but you can just remove it by clicking Revert to Unformatted Data. So now what we can do is click this little square between column A and row 1 and then the paint format symbol. Without clicking anything else, we go to a new form responses and then click the same square. We can now delete the transactions tab and rename this one to whatever you want. And now the sheet is successfully linked to the Google form and it's ready to use. If the script fails at any point and you can't link the form to your sheet, you can also link them manually. So what we're going to do is delete everything we initially did and we'll start again. So once again, we make a copy of the Google sheet and make a copy of the transactions form. So we go to My Drive and both of them are there. We start by opening the Google sheet. Let the setup button appear and we go back and open our Google form. We get the missing file upload folders message, click restore, success. And now the difference here is that we're going to go to responses and we're going to click link to sheets. Here we select existing spreadsheet and we click the copy of the Google sheet. Now we can click view in sheets and that will take us to our Google sheet. And as you can see, we have a purple logo. So that means it was linked successfully. We can then revert to unformatted data and we can send a test transaction. So back in the Google form, just click the responders link, copy it and enter it in your browser. And we'll do a quick test transaction. So when we go back to the Google sheet, we can see that the test transaction was successful and we can copy the format from the transactions tab. So now what we need to do is step number 2, which is update references. So to do that, we need to press Command or Control and then F on the keyboard and then click these 3 dots. So in Find, we're going to write transactions and in Replace With, we're going to enter Form Responses 6, which is our new purple tab, and surrounded by single quotations. We're going to click Also Search Within Formulas, and then we're going to click Replace All. Click the error messages. And now we can go to Calculations and check that the references have been updated successfully. So as you can see, now we're reading from Form Responses 6, and that means we can now delete this All Transactions tab. And we can rename this one. So once your form is successfully linked to your Google Sheet, you can check that the language and region are adjusted to your location. So to do that, we can go to File, click Settings, and here you can change your country and then the time zone that you want, and click Save Settings. Once you do that, you can go into the Transactions tab and select all the date columns like this, and you can customize your date and time format. Some people like the day first, other people like the month first. So up to you, you can change it there. So now that the form is linked, we can save the link. So when you go to your form, you can click the link symbol and you can either copy this long one or shorten it. You can copy that. And when you open it in a new browser, you can save this page to your bookmarks, for example. Or you can copy this link, open it in your smartphone, and add it to your home screen so you're ready to enter transactions from your phone. Now you can go back to My Drive and you can create a new folder to save your budget tracker. So now it's all saved in this folder and you can actually also change the name to whatever you want. Finally, you can go to the Setup tab and match the entries you edited in the form. So for example, we might have certain accounts, just make sure these match the ones in the form, or if you change some in the form, you need to change these as well correspondingly. You can enter your starting balances, the currency for each account, the account category, and also the list of currencies you might want to convert. In the budget setup, you have the category and the parent category. The ones in the Google form should match this column, the category column, for both income and expenses. So again, if you change something here, make sure to change it in the Google form and vice versa. Finally, we have the statement export and the statement alignment. This is used for cases where you don't want to use the Google form or enter any expenses here or income manually. What you do is you paste your bank statement in here, and the idea is for you to align each of the relevant columns with the ones that are needed for the transactions. So in this case, we pasted this here, and here on the right hand side, there are formulas that actually align them in the way that is necessary to be read from the transactions tab. Not all bank statements have categories, so you will need to enter them manually like this. And then in the statement alignment, what these formulas do on the top is they put each of the relevant columns correctly where they go. So once that is done for each time you paste a statement, all you need to do is copy everything. You go to your transactions and you can paste them underneath your latest submission. And just remember to move your latest Google form submission to the bottom. So next time when you enter a new one, it will appear here and not at the top. And that's essentially how we can use the statement alignment and statement export for those that don't want to use the Google form or enter anything manually here. If you make a mistake, you can always change this like this, and it should all update within the tracker. So that's how you set up your tracker. Please let me know if you have any questions, and thank you very much. See you next time.